Donald Trump tried to hit all of his "I swear I'm not the bad guy, everyone else is" notes during his Fox and Friends interview this morning, but the interview was so cringy, I thought I'd sum up the highlights so you don't have to sit through moments like this.
I won't use names, didn't do anything. They didn't do a thing. It was like they just sat there. They sat in an office. Hello, goodbye. That would be a meeting. Hello, a goodbye.
Trump starts off by threatening the Democrats and FBI agents who investigated his campaign's collusion with Russia.
It was a very dangerous situation what they did. These are dirty politicians and dirty cops and some horrible people, and hopefully they're going to pay a big price someday in the not-too-distant future.
He then tries to explain the impeachment vote in both the House and the Senate, which, let's be real, Trump is not the best with numbers, and it shows.
The call was a perfect call. You look at the Republicans, 198-0 in the House, and you look at in the Senate, 52.5 to a half. And I'm telling you, it was a disgrace.
Of course, we can't go a few minutes without Trump rolling out the old playbook and promising a document dump on how Obama and Joe Biden were setting Trump up, despite no evidence to back him up. But trust Trump, it's coming one day.
And there's more to come from what I understand, and they're going to be far greater than what you've seen so far. And what you've seen so far is incredible, especially as it relates to President Obama. Because if anyone thinks that he and Sleepy Joe Biden didn't know what was going on, they have another thing coming.
Now, this next clip makes me question whether Trump is suffering from Alzheimer's or if there is someone in the room who's playing babysitter and telling him to stop what he's doing. Notice how he has the listener imagine if he were a corrupt president and then stops mid-sentence to attack Joe Biden.
If that was true, what you just said a moment ago, that the previous administration tried to undo your presidency, that is the biggest political scandal of all time.
It is. If it were a Republican, if it were reversed, and that were a Republican president, or that were a, let's say me, that would be the ultimate example. But if that were a Republican president, I believe he and Biden, Sleepy Joe was involved in this also very much. And other people around President Obama were totally involved. And you'll see more and more things come out, I think, because, you know, like, I know how it works.
Nicely played, Donald. On Jeff Sessions, Trump openly admits to giving him the attorney general job because he was the first to endorse Trump, and then calls out Sessions' manhood for refusing to carry Trump's water through the Mueller investigation.
Sessions was a disaster. I made him, I didn't want to make him attorney general, but he was the first senator to endorse me. So I felt a little bit of an obligation. He came to see me 4 times, just begging me to be attorney general. He wasn't, you know, to me, equipped to be attorney general, but he just wanted it. And Jeff was just very weak and very sad. And when the name Russia was mentioned, just the word Russia, he immediately, instead of being a man and saying this is a hoax, he recused himself. And he had a deputy named Rod Rosenstein, who probably, I mean, you'll see things coming out.
He wasn't man enough? Donald, shut up. You have small hands. And of course, Donald can't have an interview without lying about Nancy Pelosi, this time accusing her of having many dinners with a Russian agent who aided in Trump's Russia collusion.
Well, Kislyak had dinner with Nancy Pelosi and Schumer. All these guys, they all, everybody in Washington knew Kislyak. She had dinner with him many, many times.
The only thing is, as you can see here, the one table Pelosi sat with Kislyak at also had members of Russian President Medvedev and other U.S. officials seated around it, and was completely out in the open. Flynn, on the other hand, met privately to discuss Russia helping Donald Trump get elected, and then lied about it to the FBI. So, yeah, Donald, Pelosi and the Russians. Right. Finally, guess who Trump learned from?
But I learned a lot from Richard Nixon. Don't fire people. I learned a lot. I study history. And the firing of everybody, I should have in one way, but I'm glad I didn't, because look at the way it turned out. They're all a bunch of crooks and they got caught.
So there we have it. The President of the United States openly admitting to taking notes from a president who had to resign because he was caught breaking the law. There is one part of this interview where you were telling the truth.
Guys like that end up going down. They're crooked and bad.